Good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. I am Tim, back once again for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series United States Grand Prix. And with me is my co-commentator, as always, Mansell. How are you doing today?
Awesome as always. Yeah, I have Mike sorted out, so we're all good now. I've got a new mic, so we're all good, and hopefully we won't get any interruptions during qualifying. One thing I want to point out, of course, last week we was on about who is actually going to be the winner of that Grand Prix, and the winner was Idivine. He did get that penalty removed, so Idivine did win the Grand Prix. So well done to him.
So, Ottovine, is he actually going to be with us today as we look over on the grid? See, the reason we ask that question is because we actually have more reserves today than we have full-time drivers.
Yeah, so I think we have 7 full-time GP2 drivers, and then the rest are reserves. As you can see, you got Janeji, he's from GP3, the Bear, he's from GP5, got Martin in GP3, Maggi from GP5, we got Ali, I think he's a GP3 reserve as well. So we've got quite a lot of reserves. I think it was in total 14 reserves and 6 full-time GP2 drivers. But I know that everyone's still active in the GP2 chat just because of the amount of people that have declined. Obviously, it's just probably not. Well, obviously, your life comes first, and the second is obviously league racing and all that crap. Obviously, life is the most important thing out of them all. So, can't really complain about that. But yeah, we'll just have to continue and get on with the qualifying and the race.
So taking a look at Langfell, he is the first driver out on track. A lot of drivers starting their outlaps very early around here. And, you know, how do you feel about Coda, Mansell? Because this is a track that is, I like to say, unique on the F1 calendar. There's a lot of different elevation changes, and there's also a lot of wide runoff areas, but then you get this really long DRS straight, which Langfell is going down now, and this is where you're going to see the majority of the passes.
Yep, yeah, I do like Kota. There is obviously quite a lot of opportunities to overtake, quite easy to follow. Set to one is difficult. Obviously, the Maggots and Beckett's kind of corners. As you know, that's probably pretty much a copycat of Silverstone. But yeah, I like Kota. Also, the penalties. If you do not get a penalty, you can get a massive advantage from other people's getting the penalties. It's quite easily to get penalties around here and also invalidate as well. But yeah, no, I like it. Strategy as well. It should be a soft medium strategy. Jeff does tell you to do a soft medium strategy, but you can easily do a soft medium strategy as I did yesterday until the wet conditions came in. Yeah, no. Kota is a really good track, I would say.
So Langfell starting his lap going into the uphill turn 1, and Pim a 5-place grid penalty for collision with D-Max. So not sure exactly what happened there, but unfortunately for Pim, he's going to have to start 5 spots below wherever he decides to qualify.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Pim. Not 100% sure what happened. Has Pim got damage? I don't think he got damage, but I'm going to have a look at D-Max in the pits. So D-Max might have come in for a new front wing, I'm not sure. I don't know what happened to the other two, but unfortunately there for Pim.
So on board with Langfell, and you heard that beep. He's got the DRS wide open. You see just how long this straightaway is. And then a very tight hairpin, and it's downhill braking too, so you've got to be very careful with your braking zone, maybe braking a little bit earlier than normal because you got to account for the fact that you are going downhill. You're kind of under the forces of, what do they call that thing that keeps us from floating out into space? Gravity, right?
Yep, gravity, that's it.
So Langfell now in the third and final sector. Here is our lap data going to display up there. Let's see what kind of a lap time he's going to set. This is the bar for the other drivers so far on their first flying lap. One final DRS zone out of the final turn, and it's a 132.186 for Langfell. Maggi going to 134 on the medium tires, a 132.5 for Janeji. Pim going to second place. So Pim looking fast today. The Bear going to P4 with a 133.681.
Of course, the Bear's the current championship leader in GP5. Might possibly become our first ever SFR double world champion. SFR the Bear, if you can get that championship. Well, if he can defend his GP5 championship, that is.
So take a look at Smithy now in the Ferrari. He's on his first flying lap. Just over 13 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. Plenty of time for these drivers to get out there. And look at how many drivers are actually on track at the moment. So this track is going to get rubbered up quite quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Janeji is actually going to give Smithy some slipstream here. So good teamwork already. Janeji in GP3 as well. So yeah, good teamwork there between the Ferrari boys already.
So now Smithy cannot let this lap go to waste. He was purple in the second sector. So let's see if he's able to have a nice final sector, and maybe we can see Smithy close to the front row here. Meanwhile, we got the Ferrari of Ali in first place, Langfell in second, Pim in third, Janeji and Train Game Wow fourth and fifth respectively. Train Game Wow, of course, our championship leader. And I'd say that he just about has this wrapped up. We were talking about that a little bit earlier, weren't we, Mansell?
Yeah, I did see in the GP2 chat that X Gamer has decided to pull out from the rest of the season. So really, Train Game Rail's main rival now is Tom Goproff, and he's here today. He's in 17th, and 60 points is the difference between Tom Goproff and Train Game Rail. But I don't think X Gamer will be losing his full-time seat for the rest of the season. So we might see him a couple of times. We'll see. But yeah.
Oh, and Tom Goproff spinning into the grass. So just as we're talking about him being the closest competitor in this championship fight thus far, not looking like a good qualifying session. Of course, he already invalidated his lap this time, so he's got to get back around, but a huge wiggle there. So it looks like maybe those tires are very hot.
Yeah, they would be for a spin. I do not like soft tires after you've just done a spin. And he decides to go into the pit because his tyres will be too overheated to start his laps. He nearly loses it again going into the pits.
So the drivers that I'm seeing that are on a flying lap right now, every one of them have invalidated. So D-Max invalidated, KXI is invalidated, Martin has invalidated. So like you were saying, Mansell, you have to avoid the time penalties around COTA.
Yep. Obviously, during qualifying, you just want to try and use as much of the track as you can, and then in the race, you just want to be as consistent as you can and just not invalidate. Really, we did see this a lot in GP3 qualifying. I was watching the GP3 qualifying because I had a quali ban, so yeah, there was a lot of people invalidating in qualifying yesterday as well. But you know, it's qualifying. You want to go flat out. You want to lose as less time as possible. So it is expected in qualifying, but you want to expect them to be more consistent, I would say, in the race and using less of the track in the race.
So MDJ in the Alpine, he is in the third and final sector. He is on his out lap, about to start his flying lap. Let's see what kind of a time he's able to lay down. MDJ, of course, showing a decent amount of speed last week.
And a medium tyre as well.
And I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen more drivers make an attempt out there on the medium tires. Of course, Train Game Wow, it looks like he has got them selected. He's got a 133.5 on them. MDJ trying the medium tires, Nadeem and Martin as well. Matt G, he went out there on the medium tire. However, I don't think he's going to stick with that tire choice. He's really kind of at the tail end of where the lap times are falling there.
I didn't even notice that McLaren driver. Venum Amarillo. What a name. It's just a way to Amarillo.
Is it Amarillo or Amarillo? I thought it was Amarillo.
Well, it's got a double L in the name, at the end of the name. Amarillo. I think it's Amarillo.
See, I don't know. That's one of those words for me, because I've seen it spelled like that and it's been Amarillo, and then I've seen it spelled like that and pronounced Amarillo as well. So, you know what? Let's just kind of message him, and then we'll tell him, hey, you need to get a podium so we can ask you about your name. oh, no, but wait, actually, that is something we have to update everyone on. We will unfortunately not be able to have the interviews after the race today, so the stream will end when the race concludes, but you will still get the full race.
Yeah, of course. You won't be missing the end of the race. Probably the most exciting part of the race is towards the end. So yeah, you won't be missing that, of course.
So Norloser going to P6. You saw MDJ go to P6, but Norloser knocked him down to 7th place now. MDJ, the highest driver on the medium tires thus far with a 132.791. Norloser on the softs, a 132.699.
Langfell in the comments saying good luck to the commentators today. Thank you very much, Langfell. We try and do our best job as possible, and I think most of the time we do. So I think today will also be a very good commentating session for us as well.
Well, I mean, we're already kind of at a loss on how to pronounce one of the new drivers' names, so I'm not sure how it's going, actually. It's kind of like if a random reserve driver was just thrown in last minute in a practice session that Crofty, for some reason, did not know.
Yeah, exactly like that, yeah. We've got Tom Prof actually on the lap. He is currently in Sector 3. So expect him to get it. Well, expect him to be in the top 10. Obviously, as I said, Train Game Wile's nearest rival now. So Tonga Prof, he just literally, the only thing he can do now is just beat Train Game Wile and pretty much get maximum points. He has to finish on the podium, I would say, for the rest of the season to have a chance, and he's doing a good job of that at the moment, getting poled to the 1 minute 32.034.
Wondering if he knows just what is at stake and what's possible. You know, I'm wondering if maybe that does change your outlook a little bit. You said that Train Game Wile was 70 points ahead of Tom GoProf, correct? So,
yeah, 70. About 70 points.
So knowing now that he is virtually in 2nd place, knowing that he doesn't have to fight X Gamer anymore and he just has to worry about Train Game Wile, I'm wondering if that changes his outlook a little bit and at least motivates him to give it a bit of a shot. Because he's over 2 races out of the lead, so it's going to take a lot to make up the difference, never mind passing Train Game Wile. But mathematically, he's not out of it. And, you know, a few bad races for Train Game Wile and good races for Tom GoProf, and we could really see that gap shorten up a little bit.
Yep. Well, you know what Train Game Wile is like this season. He's very consistent. He's been, I would definitely agree, he's been the most consistent drivers out of GP2 this season. That is why he is leading the championship, and comfortably as well, is because he's been so consistent throughout the season. But yeah, that's all Tom GoProf probably has to hope for now, that Train Game Wile now has a bad 5 last of these races to even have a chance for Tom GoProf to even have a chance of getting the championship away from him.
How many races was Nico Rosberg's comeback in 2016, and what deficit did he have to overcome? Educate me.
Well, I know I'm not great on the 2016 championship, but I know that he won the first couple of races until the Spain incident. He won all the races up to Spain is when they took each other out, and then I know Hamilton then came up, had a good mid-season, and then I think it was the race in Malaysia when he got that DNF because of the engine failure, and that's when Nico Rosberg started to close the gap again up on him, and yeah, then it went down to final race of the season, and obviously Rosberg took that win. That's what happened in the 2016 season.
Well, maybe we'll see something similar to that between Train Game Wow and Tom Goproff, of course, running out of races to do so. But Tom Goproff on the pole right now, Train Game Wow in P4. So Tom Goproff, like you said, Mansell, doing exactly what he needs to do. Currently taking a look at one of our reserves, Mad G in the Red Bull today. His best time, a 1:34.497. I believe that was set on the medium tire. He's on the soft compound now. So we'll see if he's able to improve his lap time in the third and final sector now. We'll see where he ends up at the end of just a couple more corners. And you know, I kind of feel like if you were a passenger going around this circuit that you just get motion sickness.
Yeah, especially in Sector 1, how high speed it is. Even those last few corners in Sector 3. It's a bit like Silverstone, very high speed corners around here. But USA do like the UK, as you probably know from the copycat of Maggots and Beckett's and Mag's coming up to now. But yeah, still a good circuit.
So D-Mac going to P2 now. Tom Goproff still up in the first position. Let's find someone else on a lap. Martin looks like is on a lap in the AlphaTauri.
Tim is on a lap. He's in Sector 3 right now. He's about a tenth up on his time. It's actually very close at the top. There's about 3/10 separate from first to seventh at the moment. So yeah, I don't think qualifying is definitely not over just yet. Still a lot of position you can gain if you just gain that little bit of time. As Pim is about to cross the line now, he will actually go pole. 3.5 tenths up on his last lap, and he does a 1:31.8. So the first one into the 1:31s.
So Pim looking good, and just over 2 minutes remaining in the qualifying session. So if you're going to go out for a lap, you need to do it now. And of course, all of our drivers have at least set a time, but only one driver can start on the pole position. Martin in the AlphaTauri, he is in the second sector, about to enter the third sector. He is 7/10 up on his best time. So we'll see what he's able to bring out of this. Of course, Martin, another one of our reserves today. Maybe a little bit of a hairy moment there through that sector. But, you know, that's the beauty about that corner there, Mansell, is that you can really take different lines through there and still come out on the other side and be okay.
Yeah, you want to be, in qualifying, you definitely want to be close to the inside as much as possible, whereas in the race, you kind of want to be going wide, as you want to be saving the tyre wear and tyre temperatures in your tyres in the race, but you really want to be going on to the inside of the corner while in qualifying, just so you can gain as much time as possible. Martin has actually got up to P2, 32.001. So expect him to be in GP2 next season. Obviously, he's currently a GP3 championship leader. He's doing very well at the moment. But yeah, I think Martin will definitely be with us for GP2 next season, depending on the handling module and all that on the new game when it comes out. But yeah, I see Martin a very good chance to be in GP2 next season.
So taking a look at Janeji now, and this time Smithy giving him a little bit of slipstream, so repaying the favor to his teammate for today. And now, oh no, actually Janeji goes a little bit wide, so now Smithy going underneath of Janeji. He is on his outlap too, so I don't really think they were racing each other. It just looked like Janeji went a little bit
D-Mac's
wide.
out. D-Mac is out. I don't know what's happened to him. Actually I have no idea what's happened to him.
So Mauser now in the first sector. In P8 at the moment with a 1:32.314, and he is 200ths down on his best time, so he's going to have to find a little bit of lap time here. Oh, and that was a little bit of a wiggle. He's got to be careful not to invalidate. This is going to be his only chance to improve his lap time because the qualifying session is now over. So Pim, a 1:31 up there on the top spot, a 1:31.8, I do believe. So that is the fastest time at the moment, and he has finished his lap. So will that be the pole time? Will anyone be able to challenge Pim? And remember, we still have our championship battle to worry about. Train Game Wow versus Tom Goproff. Tom Goproff a few spots ahead of Train Game Wow.
Tom Goproff and Train Game Wow, both their qualifying is done. They are not. They are backing out their laps. So that P4 and P7 will be their best in qualifying at the moment.
So Mauser still on his lap. We'll see where he ends up. Just one more corner to go. No invalidation. The DRS is open, and Mauser crosses the line. A little bit of an improvement, actually. A 131.957. So he breaks into that 131 second bracket, goes to P3. Will he be able to hang on to it, though? You said Tom Goproff was backing out of his lap. Let's go ahead and take a look at Nadeem down here. So far, so good for him. He's in the third sector, just one more corner to go. And Alpine ahead of him, finishing his lap. That's MDJ who goes quickest, a 131.525 as Nadeem backs out of it. Norloser, though, has he's validated.
He's gone, the same with Amarillo, so I think that's it.
And what you see is what you're going to get. MDJ on the pole, Pim and Ali, your top three, with Mauser and Martin, your top five. Now we just have to wait out that clock, Mansell.
Yep. So 1 second between first and 10th in qualifying. Yeah, they're probably pretty good. The gap between that, obviously, because most of these are reserves. But yeah, no, that's all right. A 1 second gap between the first and 10th position.
So go ahead and take a look at the two McLarens here, as the AI, well, you can't now, but the AI was controlling them, and they were nose to tail with a Ferrari.
Oh, nice.
Just driving in sync. It was quite interesting to see. But your official starting lineup for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series United States Grand Prix: MDJ on the pole with Pim in second place, Ali in third, Mauser in fourth, Martin in fifth, Tom Goproff in sixth, D-Mac in seventh, Langfell in eighth, Train Game Wow in ninth, 10th is Janeji, Nadeem in 11th, Norloser in 12th, 13th is Smithy, Mad G in 14th, The Bear in 15th, 16th is Amarillo, and then KXI in 17th position. You know, I'm just going to have to call him Venom for now until we get confirmation of whether it's Amarillo or Amarillo.
As we've actually forgotten, Pim, 5 second place, grid penalty. He was going to start second, but instead he starts third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So we'll be starting seventh for Pim.
So now it is time for our top three predictions for us up here in the comms booth, and of course our viewers watching. So Mansell, what are your top three predictions? I'm going to go in any particular order. Tom Goproff, Pim, and MDJ.
Oh, no train game. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put Tom Goproff in there. He has to finish on the podium. Simple as that, to even have a chance for this championship fight to continue. This is in any order. So Tom Goproff, MDJ, and that's my top three prediction.
Your top two prediction.
Yeah, that sneeze as well. That's sneeze also the top three. He's gonna be the last one. No loser.
All right, well, we'll see which one is correct here. We are just about to load onto the grid for our formation lap. 17 drivers, I believe, are going to be taking the green flag here today.
Yeah, at the moment, no rain expected. It's dry at the start, nice and sunny.
Mansell, I'm hearing some sniffles. Are you having a moment over there?
I've got hay fever.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, you need to not be sick, because you generally feel better when you're not.
Yeah, I know. As soon as the weather starts to become warm again, that's it. My hay fever sets off. I get it really easily. I hate it, but I have to deal with it.
Oh, I understand. I actually mowed the yard, well, part of the yard yesterday, and I hadn't been mowing for 30 seconds before I started sneezing.
Right.
So I understand completely. I don't know if you want to call that allergies or what, but definitely with the springtime coming and everything blooming, it definitely does make me sneeze and sniffle a little bit more than usual.
Yeah, I get it every year. Simple as that. I just have to deal with it. Since since 2002, let's say, that's the year I was born, of course. I've had it every year, I would say.
2002. Okay, so I would. You just had a birthday, right?
Yeah.
When?
Start of May.
Okay, so I was 5 when you were born.
Wow.
Or no. I was 6 actually when you were born.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 6. So yeah, interesting. For some reason I thought you were born in 2000. So you were not.
Nope.
I'm sorry, man. So I don't even know my co-commentator's birthday.
It's fine. Did you know Oliver's when he was co-com?
Yes, actually, it was in March, and it was just a year, a year after mine. So he was 1997, I believe, was the year he was born.
Very nice. Oh my god, my hair for you.
You just sounded like my co-commentator from. I'm gonna have to give him a shout out here, Malk from Invictus. Of course, you know Invictus, a friend of ours here at Speed Force Racing, and I commentate for them some as well. So you sounded like Malk there for a minute. He's probably not watching, but on the off chance that he is, hello, Malk. I hope you're feeling better.
Let's see, race is about to get underway now. So over to you, Tim.
And the drivers finding their appropriate positions on the grid. MDJ on the pole, and of course, Ali in second place. We'll see which driver gets a better start. Not sure why we're getting the view out of the nose, but we're going to try to find a better view than that. Here we go. And you hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet, the drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series United States Grand Prix. MDJ with a good start, but look at Ali in the Mercedes up on the inside. It's 3, almost 4 wide in the back there for about the 5th position. We do have some debris flying everywhere. Oh, and a spin. Who was that? That's Smithy going around.
Smithy and Norloser. Smithy's gone all out of shape and he's hit Norloser. Norloser's it's really unfortunate there, and Norloser's lost a load of position because of that as well.
Tom Goproff, he's in a bit of a hairy position here in P5, but it's looking like it's starting to calm down a bit for him. Martin just ahead of him, but he is actually pulling away from D-Mac, and D-Mac is holding up Train Game Wow a little bit here. Train Game Wow and the Alfa Romeo having trouble on the start, and look at Langfeld trying to get close up there to Train Game Wow, but Train Game looking like he's got a pretty good run down this straightaway. Of course, lap 1, DRS is not active, so you're not going to see a lot of overtakes for the first 2 laps or so, but behind him there, Janeji at least having a look on Langfeld, not able to do anything with it. Train Game Wow not really making a lot of moves forward, though, I'm noticing. So he is going to be considering the DRS as a godsend once it is activated. And look at the Aston Martin looking underneath of Tom Goproff. Will he be able to do anything with it? This is D-Mac and Tom Goproff fighting with each other. This is lap 1, but it's already so intense. MDJ still leading over Ali and Mauser, your top 3, but will D-Mac be able to get Tom Goproff going into turn number 1? We're right on board with him as MDJ, no surprise to anyone, sets the fastest lap, and Tom Goproff a much better exit that time, so he will hang on to the 5th position. Looks like a little bit of a battle between Martin and Mauser up there, but again, without the DRS, there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah. Of course, DRS will not be enabled until lap number 3. There's a little battle between KXI and Amarillo by the looks of it. Amarillo is going to try and have a look, but he backs out of it. Very sensible there at KXI P13. Venom P14. Smithy and Pim are swapping positions in the pits actually. So 15th, 16th and 17th all in the pits for new front wings, I'm guessing. So yeah, they'll be just hoping for a safety car really.
So there's your leader, MDJ in the Alpine, and then the Mercedes of Ali just behind him. Mauser trying to stick close to that Mercedes in P3. Of course, Mauser a really good qualifying today, so he's put himself in prime position for a podium if he's able to keep with this pace. Martin just behind them. Of course, you mentioned that he might be going to GP2 next season, and I'd say that he probably needs to be because he's racing with them up front.
Yeah, he is the GP3 leader, championship leader at the moment, and he's looking very comfortable at the moment in GP3 for the championship. So yeah, I think he has got a good chance to be in GP2 next season, depending on the handling model, of course, of next year's game.
So Tom Goproff there in the 5th position, still holding on strong. Can't really go forward, but at least he's not going backwards. Of course, the DRS is now enabled. So looking out the back, you can see D-Mac. He is slowly but surely creeping up on him, but he's got to wait until the 2nd sector for the next DRS opportunity. So Tom Goproff, he needs to get as close as he can to Martin so that he himself can have a run on that AlphaTauri. Martin is sort of in jeopardy of losing ground to Mauser, 0.8 of a second, so he doesn't really want to lose too much. Otherwise, he won't be able to have a run at that Haas, but that would be the best thing to happen for Tom Goproff, because then that would mean he's not stuck in a DRS strain.
Yeah, Ali and both Mauser will not get DRS. They're at over a second, which will of course help Martin to maybe get past Mauser. Tom Goproff is now a brilliant Tom Goproff, D-Mac, Train Game Well, and Langfeld and Janeji are all in a DRS train right now, so they can't really do much except for Martin getting past Mauser. That's when things might start to change a bit. Miles goes wide there, won't really give Martin a chance, it's not really close enough, so of course he's going to continue with his race as Mauser tries to keep these guys behind. He's starting to lose time to Ali and MDJ. 1.8 is now the gap, but Mauser will try to concentrate on his own race.
So let's see what kind of a run Martin's going to be able to get down this front straightaway on Mauser here. It's looking like Mauser's starting to lose a little bit of speed as the run goes on. Martin, his car is really starting to come to him. So he's got the DRS on it, but he's not going to be able to have a move going into turn 1. He did gain a little bit there, but ultimately it just was not long enough of a straightaway to make much of a difference. That straightaway in Sector 2 is really where you are going to see, I'd say, I'm going to be bold here and say 95% of the passes are going to be happening there, save for the ones that happen on the start, simply because it's just such a long straightaway. It's your best opportunity.
Yep, very long straight. You've got to be careful with your ERS though. Obviously ERS is you're going to get extra power from the power unit, extra speed, so you've got to make sure you don't use all that up, otherwise you're going to lose that. I think it's about 20 plus horsepower down the straight, but here comes Martin now on Mauser.
And Martin getting the job done, but does he clear him? Yes, he does. Move Martin up into P3. Now he can chase down Ali, and he's in his sights, but he's not in DRS range, so that could hurt Martin. We're about to see just how much speed that AlphaTauri has as he continues his charge to the front. He is putting a fair amount of distance between him and Mauser now, and D-Mac right up on the back of Tom Goproff as well, and D-Mac's under pressure from Train Game Wow. So, of course, D-Mac's pretty much in a championship sandwich at the moment between Train Game Wow and Tom Goproff. Train Game, he is fine where he is, I'm sure, because he knows that he's so far ahead that if Tom Goproff finishes 1 or 2 spots ahead of him today, it's not the end of the world. But Tom Goproff knows that he needs to go forward.
Yeah, Tom Goproff, he just has to finish as high as he can, make sure he's ahead of Train Game Well, and it has to be big points to this stage, I would say now, so he's just got to hope that Train Game Well just has a bad end to the season. And the Train Game Well has got to really concentrate on his health.
And Tom Goproff is off and into the wall.
No, he's not.
Oh my
he saved
goodness,
it.
wow.
He somehow saved it. I was on board with him. I don't know how he saved it, but that was like Charles Leclerc in Monaco when he saved it on the start-finish straight at Monaco.
I believe it's a little bit more than that, Mansell. I actually believe that there's a bit of a communication error there between Tom Goproff and his car, so we're going to have to maybe keep our eye on that a little bit, but that was a bit of a scary moment, at least for us up here in the comms booth. Now, D-Mac, let's see what kind of a run he'll be able to get on Tom Goproff this time around. Mauser, looking like Mauser's actually getting a run on Martin, though, and he's going to try to make him go.
Nearly 3 wide on Tom Goproff, D-Mac, but here comes there's a battle going on at the front of between Martin and Mauser.
Oh, in contact between Langfeld and Train Game Wow. Train Game Wow just pushing his way through, saying, I want P7, and I'm going to hang on to it. Tom Goproff down to P6 now as D-Mac was able to get by him. And now Mauser going back up into P3, fighting hard with Martin side-by-side battling here. The Haas versus the AlphaTauri. Martin looks like he might have a bit of an advantage, but it's still a side-by-side battle. Looking at the back of the Haas. And there goes Mauser into P3 and clears Martin. And who was that for a moment? Looked like maybe D-Mac on the outside of the AlphaTauri.
Here comes that D-Mac now on Martin. These two are both in GP3, of course. But now here comes Tom Prof on Martin. Tries to get the inside on Martin, but he couldn't really do that as D-Mac does get past Martin as well. So Martin kind of losing 2 positions there.
On board with Train Game Wow, and he does not have a good line through the S's, but honestly, probably would not be too bad for him to put a little bit of distance between him and Tom Prof while that situation ahead of him settles out, because there for a moment it was really looking like a wreck was brewing. And now D-Mac making a move on Mauser into P3. He just came out of nowhere. So now D-Mac into P3, Mauser into P4, and Martin right on the back of Mauser. We might see another run. But however, we saw Mauser get into P3 last time down this straightaway. So will he make another run on D-Mac? Yes, he does. But will he clear him before he gets to the corner? Another side-by-side battle here, possibly brewing between these two. And it is going to be side-by-side through the hairpin. D-Mac going a little bit wide, and Martin meanwhile throwing his hat into the ring. And now it's a side-by-side battle between Martin and D-Mac as Mauser has been able to clear the Aston Martin. And Martin looking underneath the Aston Martin. How many Martins do we have in this race today? Contact between Martin and D-Mac there in the green car. We got the AlphaTauri right up on the back of the Aston Martin though.
Yeah, good move there from... oh no, Martin did actually get past. I thought he did, but no he didn't. Yeah, good defending there from D-Mac while trying to attack Mauser as well. Janeji gets a 3-second penalty, as expected really, not from him of course, but just because of the nature of the track. But yeah, I expect a lot of these penalties coming through.
Train Game Wow right up on the back of Tom Prof. Thought he was going to try to get underneath him through turn number 1, but just was not quite close enough. Now we're seeing Train Game Wow really struggle through these S's, and look at how much distance Tom Prof put between.
Yeah. Maybe because it's dirty air, or it's a Train Game Wow trying to be safe with the car and not. Well, with him, you just don't want to risk anything at this stage. You just want to be staying consistent like he's been doing throughout the whole season, and just make sure you finish in the points. That's really what Train Game Wow needs: to finish in the points, not lose too many points to Tom Croft.
Personally, I just think that Train Game Wow is struggling a little bit for grip through the S's. It just seems like he can't really lean on the car like he needs to. I mean, dirty hair is certainly part of the equation, I'm sure. As you saw, Tom Prof would lose a little bit of ground to Martin ahead of him. But it just seems that for whatever reason, Train Game Wow is able to gain a lot on entry, then lose it on exit. So he might be overdriving or just struggling for a bit of grip.
Yeah, possibly. Or just being safe with the car.
And that, and of course, that is also a possibility. I mean, like we said, Train Game Wow doesn't really have to take risks today.
No, he doesn't. As we've got a third person in the pits, I think that is Mauser into the pits. Yes, it is.
So MDJ, he is the class of the field today, 2.5 seconds ahead of Ali. So there you see the Alpine driver comfortably in first place. The Mercedes driver comfortably in second, but he would rather be another spot ahead. D-Mac charging to the front and getting into P3, but he is not in a comfortable position because Martin and Tom Prof, as well as Train Game Wow, all of those drivers charging, trying to get by him. Of course, Tom Prof stuck in a battle between himself and Martin at the moment, so that could get very dicey down this next DRS straightaway. Of course, you said that Mauser went into the pits, so we should be seeing some drivers make pit stops here before too long, but let's see how strong that undercut potentially could be for that Haas driver. But here's the DRS straightaway for Tom Prof and Martin. Martin should have DRS on D-Mac as well. So it's a bit of a DRS train, but is D-Mac in jeopardy of losing that third position to Martin? It doesn't look like it. Actually, Tom Prof might have a better chance of getting by Martin, but the DRS on Martin really saved him that time. So no change down the straightaway as Venom gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So it's MDJ, Ali, and D-Mac remaining as your top 3 at the moment.
Yep, as Ali and MDJ just there, really, just concentrating and doing laps, really. As then Ali is going to come into the pits. He's trying to get the undercut on MDJ. Of course, 2 seconds is the gap between himself and MDJ before he came into the pits. and he's actually going to go onto the medium tyres, so they could go to the end. As we actually saw Mauser go onto another set of soft tyres, so Mauser will have to come in again at some point to go onto the medium tyres. We'll see if Ali can get to the end of these tyres.
So Tom Goproff, he's in the pits on the medium tires, while Train Game Wow, his championship competitor, does stay out, and he's in P3 at the moment. So let's see if the undercut's going to work for Tom Goproff or the overcut going to work for Train Game Wow. Of course, Tom Goproff was right ahead of Train Game Wow on track, so they've pretty much been racing all day long thus far. Lap 9 of 28, so 20 laps to go now in the United States Grand Prix, and KXI a 3-second time limit for multiple warnings.
Yeah, where's Martin? Did Martin come in? Oh yes, he did. I didn't even notice that. Okay, Martin's come in. He's he's actually 3 seconds down on Mauser as well. So the undercut looking good around here. See if MDJ comes in. Maybe he has to respond to Ali's pit stop now. But Ali looks like he's got a bit of traffic ahead of him, KXI. So be hoping to get rid of these guys as soon as possible. Hopefully they will come in for him, or he will just have to try and do an overtake on them. But look at that, Mauser's actually gained a 1.4 second gap on Ali. I think they've got 2 seconds before they came in. So MDJ's decided to say, oh, D-Max hit the wall. Train Game while trying to go around the inside into the pit entrance. D-Mac might have front wing damage for hitting the inside wall. Is this going to be? Yes, it is going to be a front wing change. So he's going to lose a lot of time now. He's going to lose at least 4 seconds in the pits now for just that front wing change.
And look at Tom Goproff, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that is not what he needed for his championship battle. However, it looks like he's got his teammate ahead of him. That is a lapped car, however, so he doesn't have to worry about him giving room or not giving room. Tom Goproff running in 7th at the moment, and unfortunately that 3-second time penalty, that's not something that you can remove.
Ooh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Yeah, nothing you can remove unless it's like a driver. You go side by side with a driver and they kind of force you off the track a bit, and you do get a warning for that. You can get a removal for that, but that of course is just the remover of a warning, not the penalty.
And Mauser on KXI now for 4th place. Which one's going to get the DRS though? It should be Mauser. He was behind, and look at that. The Haas car gets the DRS and sails away from KXI.
Yeah, fresh versus old. Fresh is always going to win. Mauser 1 lap old soft tyres. It's like 9 lap old soft tyres. So KXI probably looking at the one stop soft medium. Same with Train Game Well, sorry. Langfeld and MDJ. Something's happened to MDJ. Langfeld has overtaken MDJ. I think MDJ might have made a mistake, and he's actually coming in as well. So MDJ is probably going to lose the position to who was it? Ali. I think he will.
And
so
you know,
that's probably not helped him to win today.
And right before that happened, I was looking at the time interval, and I was noticing that Ali was going to be passing MDJ anyway, so that just goes to show how strong the undercut is. Ali now in the lead, Mauser in 2nd place, once Langfeld pits, mind you, and then Martin will inherit the 3rd position. Of course, there were some mistakes happen between D-Mac and MDJ that contributed to that, but nonetheless, regardless, Ali was going to be leading. And now Martin 3 seconds.
Yeah, of course, Mauser's still got to stop as well. This is a soft stint he's done at the moment, so we'll have to come in at some point as well. Langfeld might be coming in this lap. I would say got a yellow flag. That is for D-Mac. Something has happened to D-Mac as well now. Made a mistake in sector 1 by the looks of it, but he gets going again. No front wing damage by the looks of it.
So Langfeld still leads. We expect him to come into the pits either this time or next time. I mean, the soft tires, they're really not going to last much longer on that car.
You can probably see that they're starting to blister as well, so yeah, they're not going to last anymore. Penultimate corner, and no, he's staying up for another lap.
Maybe he's banking on a safety car. I mean, at this point, you know, Langfell, he's not really been in contention for the win today. He's not been in contention for a podium. So if he can stay out a little bit longer and get a very lucky safety car, then that could at least improve his chances a little bit.
Yep. It would just be open for a safety car, I would say. Well, he's not open, but he's looking at the one soft medium strategy. I think that is the better strategy around here. We do lose quite a lot of time in the pits, around 25 seconds around here. So if he can manage his tyres, he should be maybe on for a podium. We'll see though.
So now taking a look at MDJ after that unfortunate mistake. He is in P7. He's behind Train Game Wow. So it's looking like that's, virtually 6th place. So he lost a lot of position. Something must have happened. Maybe he spun somewhere on the track. Not sure, but MDJ looking very dominant in the early stages of the race. Now looking like he's going to be playing catch-up.
Yeah, MDJ, I think he made a mistake at that fast right-hander while coming in for his in-lap. That's when Langfell overtook him. So he made a mistake there, which might... Well, it looks like it has cost him the win. He's about 10 seconds off from Ali now.
And there goes Langfell into the pits now. So
Ali is pretty much the race leader.
6 seconds, no, excuse me, he was 6 seconds behind Langfell, but now he is going to be about 4 seconds ahead of Mauser, 2.1 seconds, my apologies. So I told you, Mansell, my math.
You and maths do not go well.
Exactly. I mean, I was a full 2 seconds off that time. However, I'll tell you who's not 2 seconds off, and it is Mauser, who is, well, he's 1.1 second off now, but there for a minute he was 0.8 of a second off of Mauser. Martin trying to get the DRS off of him, though, and Martin's starting to lose some ground now. Of course, Mauser and Martin, they both have time penalties, as does Tom Goprop. So, you know, even the closest competitors to Ali have time penalties, while the Mercedes has none. So it is very much his race to lose now. It's kind of fallen into his hands after the mistake from MDJ.
Yeah. Mazda did actually pick up him in the penalty as he was speaking. Oh yeah, that was that 3 second penalty, okay. Yeah, Train Game Well, no penalties at the moment. So again, if he keeps it like that, he'll be gaining a lot of positions at the end of Grand Prix. Not even halfway yet, but next up we will be halfway, as Ginetti has retired in the pits.
So trying to find a battle happening on track. Oh my goodness, though. Looks like Amarillo is actually spun around. And now
Mauser, Tonga, who was that? Amarillo as well, around. So Mauser's out.
Cannot see what happened to Mauser, unfortunately, but that is a retirement. He was running pretty well up until that point. This does now put Tom Goprop into a podium position. Train Game Wow hot on his heels, though, just 1.6 seconds behind.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to Mauser. He must have... His back end must have just stepped out going round that corner, and obviously he just couldn't catch it in time, and yeah, now he's out. I'm guessing that's what happened with him anyway. The back end just slipped. That's it. Race over.
So really not a lot going on. Here is your leader, Ali there in the Mercedes. Martin in P2. Tom Goprop in 3rd place with Train Game Wow in the 4th position. Those are your 2 championship leaders, with Train Game Wow leading Tom Goprop by about 70 points going into today. MDJ in 5th in the Alpine, and then Langfell back there in P6. So a lot of different strategies happening right now. Langfell, he just recently pitted, so he's out there on a fresh set of medium tires. And now Smithy has retired from the session. Looks like he's actually wrecked out there in the 3rd sector. So could that bring a safety car, as the leaders are starting to come around to that part of the course, but there is going to be no safety car. We stay green.
13 drivers left. Amarillo, fair play to him. He's carrying on, even though he's 3 minutes behind Norluser, which Norley is actually going to lap him very soon. He's got Venom is right in front of S10 for the bet. Langfell gets the fastest lap. And the Deem's into the pits as well.
So lap 15 of 28, we're now halfway through with this race. Ali, Martin, and Tom Goproff still your top three, but there's no battles going on at the moment. There you see Nadeem. He is being overtaken by Maggi, but as you said, Mansell, he went into the pits. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what D-Mac's doing now. D-Mac, he charged his way up into P3. And then when he was making a pit stop, he hit the wall, had some wing damage, had to get a new front wing, and, well, now I'd say he's just mad. Running in P8, could have been a podium finish today. Not looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah, 2.7 seconds behind Maggi, and then Maggi is about 16 seconds behind Langfeld. Yeah, so, yeah, it's going to be pretty much impossible to gain 16 seconds in about 12 laps. Yeah, very frustrating race for D-Mac, I would say.
So here's an update on your time penalties. 3 seconds for Martin, 3 seconds for Tom Goproff,
Oh.
3 seconds for... Oh.
Train game well. Tom Goproff. Here we go. Very close to each other, under a second. We might have found a Battleton.
I guess we have. However, we do have to remember, though, Train Game Wow, while I'm sure he's going to fight Tom Goproff, he doesn't really have to push it because he's going to get that position anyway as long as he himself doesn't make a mistake and pick up a time penalty. Tom Goproff does have 3 seconds to his detriment, but look at that, though. As we've seen all day, Tom Goproff just a little bit stronger in the first sector, and it's almost like the difference in strength between the two drivers in the first sector is just enough to keep Tom Goproff ahead for the rest of the lap. Oh, but that was a big wiggle there from Tom Goproff.
That might not help. Just under half second train game well on Tom Goproff. Now this is the main DRS spot to overtake. We'll see what happens.
And it's such a long straightaway. I think that Train Game Wow, he's virtually got this position down pat. You see him really gaining on him. I don't even think he's got his ERS deployed, though, so he's not really pushing too hard, but he did have a look on the outside as Tom Goproff went down to defend the inside. Oh, and he almost spins it, so Train Game Wow gets around him. Contact there for a moment, and Tom Goproff trying to go back on the offensive, cannot do anything with it. Oh, and he sends it to the inside. My goodness. And now he goes very wide on the outside of the corner, cannot keep Train Game Wow behind him.
Now he might have a chance going down to start finish straight. It's still very close between these two.
0.3 of a second, and that's exactly where Tom Goproff needs to be. He does not want to lose any more ground. That DRS is wide open now. Will he be able to overtake him going into turn 1? He's going to have an opportunity. He's going to have a look. It's going to be a side-by-side battle into turn number 1, and Tom Goproff gets the move done. Will he be able to keep it? This is where he is so strong on the racetrack, is in the first sector. This is the best place that he could have made that overtake. Going into these S's, and look at how much ground Train Game Wow is losing to Tom Goproff that time.
Yeah, like you said, Tom Goproff is definitely stronger in sector 1, and he pulled about 4/10 to Train Game Well just because of sector 1. You can definitely see where Train Game Well's weakness is in, of course, in that sector. But I think Train Game Well might be coming back in once again.
Did Tom Goproff get a good enough exit? No, he did not. It's looking like Train Game Wow is going to get the move done halfway down the straightaway this time. Side by side, but not for long. Train Game Wow clears him, and this is the battle for P2 now, mind you. So it's Ali, Train Game Wow, Tom Goproff, your top 3, with MDJ Langfell, your top 5.
And that could be the battle over. Depending if Tom Goproff can keep with him. Start finish straight, as we know as well, Tom Goproff is stronger in sector 1. Train Game Well is very strong in sector 2 and 3. That's where Train Game Well, of course, gains all the time. But yeah, let's see if Tom Goproff can actually keep with Train Game Well, maybe have a chance down the main.
I think he's actually going to have an opportunity here. He certainly had an opportunity, but he backed out of it. And, you know, I'm really not sure on whether or not he could have made that move. That really could have went either way, but he obviously feels like he was not confident. And, you know, if you're not confident that you can make a move, then it's probably best to just back out, because you can't win the race if you can't even finish.
Yeah, exactly. There's what about, and then the penalty, 3-second car penalty. Don't go prof. Just under 6 tenths of the gap. So I think he will have still have a good chance to get him in the DRS rate coming up now.
So 0.4 of a second, and we saw Train Game Wow overcome half a second. So Tom Goproff, it stands to reason, should have an opportunity here. Going to the outside line, Train Game Wow gives it to him, and then Tom Goproff clears him. So battle not over yet, Mansell.
Yeah, MDJ is now starting to come into this battle now.
Lap 18 of 28, and while this battle continues to rage on, Ali is 6.9 seconds ahead of these two drivers. There you see the Mercedes. He's almost crossing the line once again. Tom Goproff still leading Train Game Wow for that second position. This is also the championship battle happening on your screen. But look at those time penalties. 3 seconds for Tom Goproff. So that is not going to be in his favor at the end. He is going to have to hope that Train Game Wow picks up at least 3 seconds worth of time penalties if he is going to gain on him today. And, you know, we are running out of times. I think, Manson, you said that we've got 5 races left in the season. So there's not a lot of opportunities that Tom Goproff has to gain on Train Game Wow. So he needs to really gain on him every single race from here on out. And like you said, podium, it's podium or nothing for him. But when Train Game Wow finishes on the podium behind him, that makes his job so much harder.
Yeah, but yeah, Tom Goproff, he just has to. His main aim is finishing ahead of Train Game Wow from now until the end of the season. That's all he can do really. Is just finish ahead of Train Game Wow. That's his only chance really. But at the moment, it's not happening for him because, of course, he's got that penalty. So he'll be hoping that Train Game Wow gets a penalty as well, and then his battle will really be on for this P2 position.
Train Game Wow had an opportunity. Tom Goproff, good defending there, kept him behind. 7.6 seconds behind the leader now. But it doesn't matter because Tom Goproff is in his own race, and now Train Game Wow side by side with him. MDJ trying to join the battle as well. He's largely stuck behind on the outside looking in, but MDJ, he might just have something to say about it here in a minute. He has no choice. He is right there on the back of Train Game Wow, who's respectively on the back of the McLaren of Tom Goproff. So it's going to be a bit of a DRS train down this front straightaway, but Tom Goproff, if he can keep Train Game Wow behind him as they go up this hill, then he should be okay for at least most of the lap, because we've seen he is very strong in the first sector. But let's see how strong MDJ is compared to Train Game Wow. Well, we are still riding on board with the Alpine. You see the battle happening ahead of you on your screen, and Train Game Wow trying to stay close to Tom Goproff, but just simply can't. But Tom Goproff actually went off the track. He went off the track, so that brings Train Game Wow right back up to him.
Yeah, MDJ even moves closer as well, so possibly could be 3 wide going down the DRS straight now. I think Tom Goproff would really be wanting MDJ to get into this battle and hope that these two, MDJ and Train Game Wow, will be starting to battle each other, and then hopefully Tom Goproff can start to pull away. I think the DRS is a massive disadvantage at the moment with Tom Goproff.
Oh my goodness, and look at Train Game Wow go on the outside, and then MDJ split him down the middle. He makes up 2 spots in 1. MDJ goes to second place. Train Game Wow into third. Tom Goproff into 4th now.
Yeah. So now Train Game Wow will still be, now he's past Tom Goproff, he will also be getting the DRS of MDJ as well, as which of course would help Train Game Wow defending against Tom Goproff. And then also, yeah, Train Game Wow will now be looking to try and pull that 1 second gap to Tom Goproff now.
And I think that MDJ did that just to prove a point. Look at how much he is now pulling away from Train Game Wow. MDJ likely will not be winning this race, but it just stands to reason that he certainly could have if he hadn't have made one mistake when he was coming up to his pit. And we've got an Alpine actually off the track and out of the race. It is the Bear.
Yeah, I think he retired out in the pits, and then his AI probably just came out of the pits, but yeah, I think we were all good. Oh, Tonga Prof literally losing it again. He's now over a second. He's onto the grass. Yeah, he's well over a second now. Langfow's actually behind Tonga Prof now. We didn't actually notice that, but he actually is.
So 0.8 of a second between those two drivers, and now everyone behind Tom GoProf down to Nadim in 7th, or actually Matt G in 8th. Looks like they have got time penalties, and a lot of drivers actually making a pit stop now back there in the back of the pack. Train Game Wow and MDJ still trying to battle it out, but really not a lot that they can do. Train Game Wow is just, not quite close enough to capitalize on the DRS. MDJ slowly pulling away, and he's even, I believe, cutting into the gap that Ali has put between him, but there's just no chance that he's going to be able to make up 7.5 seconds by the end of this race.
Yeah, no. What is the penalty situation on? Okay, Langfell on 6 seconds, Tonga Prof on 3. But yeah, MDJ and Ali, we've got 8.1 seconds down to 7.5. So it might come close in the final couple of laps. But MDJ looking to be the fastest driver today. Of course, he was leading at the beginning of the race until he made a mistake on that fast right-hander.
So Tom GoProf still holding on to the 4th position at the moment. Langfell just cannot quite seem to get the run that he needs to get by Tom GoProf. So, but sadly for Tom GoProf, he's 2 seconds behind Train Game Wow there in 3rd. So, we know that Train Game Wow cannot clinch the championship today, but he's just about on track to do it here very soon.
Yeah, 130 points are still on offer. That's including the fastest laps, including today's race as well. So 130 points is still on offer. So yeah, and I think it's 70 points. I think we said approximate between Tonga Prof and Train Game Wow is the gap at the moment. So it's still. So I think about 2 races time, I think that's when we'll see Train Game Wow clinching that championship if Tonga Prof can't really do anything about Train Game Wow pace at the moment.
So there's really not a lot of battles save for Langfell and Tom GoProf on the track. Of course, you did just see that Venom did retire from the session. He's had a very rough race. You've seen him really have trouble just to put laps in today. So I'd say that
Langfell. Tonga Prof just let him go through.
Wow, yeah, so maybe something wrong with Tom GoProf here, but like you said, he literally just moved over and let him by. However, what if that was a tactical decision, Mansell, so that maybe Tom GoProf could get the DRS? There you see the rear wing is open, and he's gaining on Langfell, but I don't think it went quite to Tom GoProf's plan because he did not get the position back. However, there's going to be more opportunities.
I'm thinking maybe let him go to maybe see if Langfell can maybe catch up to Train Game Wow, and then Tonga Prof can just stay in that DRS. Of course, Langfell's got a 6-second penalty, whereas Tonga Prof's got a 3-second penalty. So maybe he's just trying to see if he can maybe catch up to Train Game Wow and use Tonga Prof. Oh no, Tonga Prof's got another 3 seconds now. So this battle's really on for P4 now. Now he has to get on it and try and get his P4 back off from him.
Well, lucky for him, he's been strong in the first sector, so we'll see if it's going to be able to play off for him here. P5 for Tom Goproff, and like you said, he's going to have to fight for it tooth and nail because he picked up another time penalty. 6 seconds for both Langfell and Tom Goproff. There's your penalty update, 6-6, and then a bunch of threes behind him, save for Matt G, who has got 6 seconds as well. Lap 24 of 28, 5 laps remaining in this race. Ali still leads. There is your leader. And, you know, I'm starting to wonder if Ali even understands that a race is happening. Because I don't think he's seen another car for the last 15, 20 laps.
Yeah, about 15 laps. I don't think the only driver he's really seen is MDJ, but then, of course, MDJ made a mistake on his in-lap. And then since then, Ali hasn't really seen another car.
So MDJ there in P2, very comfortably so, it appears, as he is 1.5 seconds ahead of Train Game Wow. MDJ, of course, likely, possibly, maybe, shoulda, woulda, could have won this race. Made a mistake before making his first pit stop of the day. He dropped as far back, I believe, as P7 after the pit stop cycled through, only to work his way back up to where he is now in P2. And he can just see Ali ahead of him on the straightaway, but seeing him is a lot different than being able to catch him. He has shortened the gap a little bit. It was 7.6 seconds when he went into second place. It's now 7 seconds, so he is a little bit faster, but not fast enough with just 4 laps remaining, lap 25 of 28 in the United States Grand Prix.
Okay, so with another penalty. So that will help Norloser to get into the points. We've got a mistake from KXI actually, and Norloser go through. And KXI is somehow losing it on the straight. Yeah, I don't know how he's done that, but he's lost it on the straight somehow.
It do be like that sometimes.
It sure do be like that.
You know, a wise old car by the name of Doc Hudson once told me, you have to turn right to go left. So maybe there's something that you can make out of it with the straightaway.
Yep. Possibly, yep.
And if you don't get the car's reference, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Doc Hudson, oh yeah, of course.
Oh, of course.
He was, oh, for God's sake, I've actually forgot what's his name?
Paul Newman?
Mentor. Oh, in the actual car movies, the mentor, he did Doc Hudson mentored number 95. Oh
Lightning
my God,
McQueen.
It's not really the game name. That's it, yeah, Lightning McQueen.
I thought you were asking about the voice actor, and I'm like, well, the voice actor was Paul Newman. Which he himself, while he was alive, did contribute significantly to the world of motorsports.
Oh God, I can't believe I just had a you moment, Tim. You're like that sometimes.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired at my home Grand Prix. No, we have fun up here, but I think we've lost Mansell. I'm not sure if he's even there anymore. I mean, can you breathe?
Oh, 3 game round, 3-second penalty. Yeah, I'm back. Hello.
Just for future reference, what is 911 over there in the UK? Is it like 999 or something?
Yeah, that's it, 999.
Okay, well, if we need to call 999, then just let me know, and we'll let someone who can actually dial that for you do it, because I probably couldn't.
Okay. Well, I've got my missus right behind me, so she can probably do it.
Oh, okay, good. All right, as long as you got someone looking after you. It's lap 26 of 28, though, so we at least need you to stay around for 2 more laps.
Yeah, lap 26 or 28. Sadly, Ali is about to cross the line for lap 27 or 28, so 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. So Ali looking good for that win today. No safety cars throughout this race either, so yeah, I didn't actually realise that we had no safety cars throughout the Grand Prix, so that's pretty good to be fair.
COTA seems to be one of those tracks to where safety cars almost don't exist, though. So going into this race, you're going to have to plan for a green flag run the whole way.
Yeah, I would say so. I had 1 safety car in my race yesterday. Apart from that, that's it. Yeah, I think you are right on that. You don't really get safety cars through this track, which is a good thing for us, I guess. We obviously can save our voices more. We do like commentating, but at the end of the day, you do start to lose our voice towards the end of the race, like I am right now.
Or our minds.
Yeah, yeah, or our minds as well. Yeah.
I mean, we've already went into, you know, like the Disney Pixar movie realm today.
Sure, right. I've got yellow flag set to 1, that is for KXI actually. He retired. D-Mac's actually coming into the pits as well. I think D-Mac is looking to get that fastest lap away from whoever has got it at the moment. Who has actually got it at the moment? I'm going to have a look. Matt G's got the fastest lap at the moment.
And KXI retires, look in the pits. So 10 cars remaining, which means that, hey, guess what? Everyone's getting points today that's left.
Yeah, as Ali has just started his final lap of the Grand Prix. So Ali, of course, gaining some time to MDJ. 8.1 is the gap now, with about 7 seconds. Tom go Prof with another penalty. That's up to 9 seconds now. Yeah, again, I think he will be disappointed with this finish. He's not ahead of Train Game Well. That's where he wanted to be, is ahead of Train Game Well for the rest of the season now, to even have a chance to keep his championship hopes alive, really. We're off to Japan next week, Suzuka. More of a track where you need skill, really. Very snaky track with a lot of left-right-handers and not really many overtaken areas apart from 130R going up to 130R, and that's not even a DRS throw, right, DRS straight either. So, but yeah, I think the main overtake at Suzuka will be at 130R.
So I do want to give a big shout out though to our reserve drivers today. You actually mentioned it this morning, Mansell, or at least it was morning by my time, that we only had 4 drivers at one point registered for the race, which then went up to 8, and we needed 10 to run the race. And we looked for reserves, and so many of them came through to put this race on. Ali was one of those reserves, and now he is the winner of the United States Grand Prix. MDJ in P2, gonna cross that line and hang on to that spot. Train Game Wow will hang on to P3. Langfell will finish in 4th, but where do the time penalties for the rest of the drivers put them? Langfell in 4th, Tom Goproff in 5th, Martin in 6th so far. We are still waiting for the rest of the drivers to cross the line. That was quite a strung out field, but I do want to say
Nadine's just run out of fuel.
Oh no. Right at the end, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, so he underestimated the field today. I think he might have thought there's going to be some safety cars, but that never happened.
And now Mad G in 8th, Norloser 9th, D-Mac in 10th. I don't believe any of them are close enough to really lose out because of their time penalties. So what you see is what you get. A big thank you to all of our reserve drivers that pulled through for us so that this race could happen. And of course, a big thank you to the full-time drivers as well. For those of you who were not able to race with us today, we do hope to see you back next week, and we hope that everything is all right with you. We thank all of the people that watched this stream. We congratulate the top 3 finishers. However, there will not be interviews following this race. Mansell and I both have to go. We will stick around just to give you the official classification of this race before we shoot off. However, MDJ has decided to join, so we can give him a brief moment for him to give his thoughts of the race. So MDJ, can you tell us what happened with the mistake there that led to you losing the lead?
For some reason I lost my rear end. The grip, I got more grip than usual, turning back in to catch my rear. So I lost even more. Then I spun and then going for new tires, and yeah, I had to take Train Game Well and another guy, so it took me a lot of time. And fuel saving is also a big role, because I've been fuel saving the whole race, so yeah.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on a second-place finish, MDJ. It would have been a win. You were very fast. Maybe next time, but your official classification for the Speed Force Racing GP2 Series United States Grand Prix is Ali in first, MDJ in second, Train Game Wow in third, Langfell in fourth, Tom Goproff in fifth, Martin in sixth, Nadeem in seventh, Matt G in eighth, ninth is Norloser, 10th is DMAC, 11th is KXI, 12th is Bear Venom in 13th, Smithy in 14th, Mauser in 15th, 16th is Janeji, Pim in the 17th position. So thank you to everyone who raced with us. Thank you to those who watched, and congratulations to our top 3 finishers. And until next time, good morning, good evening, good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Have fun, and goodbye.